Live League Game of the Day. DowntoWall versus AAcoSan. Grim versus Kindle.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Semi-original guy, aka Mr. Cannon from Advance Wars by Web, bringing you another Live League game of the day. Today, AAcoSan versus a DowntoWall on Caustic Finale with a drastic underpick from DowntoWall, picking Grim versus Kindle. Wow. Now, Caustic Finale needs absolutely no introduction, folks. This is one of the most iconic maps in Advance Wars by Web. Now, Caustic Finale, main thing, you go for the neutral bases. After the neutral bases are acquired, units tend to go towards the corners and capture the corners. Once the corners are captured, it's a little bit of fighting that goes on, but then both players start heading towards the middle over here, Units go down to acquire the comm towers and then just sit pretty on the mountain. And then you have a whole whack load of fighting that literally happens everywhere on the map, folks. Caustic Finale is a crazy map, but the main fighting in Caustic Finale usually happens right here where the big F is for fight. That's what normally happens on Caustic Finale. But when you have such a drastic underpick like Grim versus such a powerhouse on Caustic Finale like Kindle, anything goes, folks. Absolutely anything goes. Kindle is probably one of the better people to play on Caustic Finale because it is so position orientated and it's so city orientated, and Kindle just gets a massive boost. But Grim is the ultimate underdog, folks, and I think we're gonna have a good one. This one was submitted, so let's go ahead and see what went down in the Live League today. Big old beefy max music, folks. And what goes well with beef? Well, standard infantry builds, because you got to get the infantry on the field. It is the #1 priority in Advances by Web, after all. #2 priority in Advances by Web, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you were not already, to help get Live League Game of the Day out to everybody. Now, I will be posting some non-Live League related content in the next little while, so definitely be sure to check that out eventually. But I just love Live League Game of the Day, folks. It is wonderful. I love Live League. I want everybody to play Live League. We need more Live League in Advance Wars. Everybody needs to get on Live League and play. It's beautiful. Early recon from DowntoWall. Very interesting build indeed. Don't normally see a lot of early recons, but I see the appeal of the early recon. However, this position here is very interesting. Now, recon could potentially set up over here or set up down here in the corner. Now, if it goes down in the corner, it is guaranteed to get this corner. Well, not like super guaranteed, but it's gonna be very close to being guaranteed. Now, if it goes mid, it's going to stop the push of infantry basically right here. Kindle's not going to be able to push out any farther than that. It's going to be forced to build a tank. Kindle is going to need a tank build in order to send it down here to get rid of that recon. But that recon is going to be able to run circles for the next couple turns, folks. Very interesting build. Now, I've seen recons build on this side of the map over here, and they've actually been very effective. However, on this side of the map, I don't think I normally see recons on this side of the map. But considering that they can get in the center of the map really quick and down the corner, I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful. Kindle just going for the standard infantry builds, though. Going to be banking the money. Going to have 11k next turn. It's a lot of money. Recon going mid. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Standard infantry builds from our Grim player. Now, recon mid. It's interesting. Very interesting. Puts a lot of pressure over here and puts a lot of pressure over here. Considering Kindle can only build one tank, depending on where the tank is built from. If the tank is built up here, Recon can go south. If tank is built over here, recon can go north. So there's a lot of versatility with this recon right now. Can't actually stop any of these caps at the moment. Kindle is going to get one of these two caps for sure. But that's about it. Now, if I was Kindle, I would say probably north tank is the better option. But I could be wrong. Going south tank. Okay. So south tank is fine. I don't really see too much of an issue with south tank. I feel like north tank would be good because you don't want to lose this position here. So as I've stated before in Caustic Finale, I feel like this section of the map right here is the most important part of the entire game. Now getting corners, very important too. You want to get the corners, but this part right here is super important because massive threat on the HQs, folks. If you get your units into this area, it's crazy. It's crazy stuff. Absolutely wild. So let's see what DowntoWall decides to do. What is this Grim player going to do? Sending north to sit pretty on a city. Beautiful. Alright, Grim busts out his first tank of the game here. Full usage of all the money as well, folks. Very nice. So tank out a corner, going to be able to go into the corner and stop this push over here too. Now AAcoSan, I think, is, well, it's not necessarily a mistake or anything, but I normally like to skip this property and then jump immediately to this property so that we can acquire this property very quickly and then put pressure on this property. But he doesn't do that. So this now puts him in a position where Grim has 2 infantry in position to attack this city. Now, Kindle, massive firepower bonus on cities, folks, but Grim has 130% firepower day to day. So even though one of these trades is going to be absolutely atrocious, well, let's say, for example, Kindle gets on the city. We have to swap this. And we're dealing with a Grim on a plains. So he's going to be able to do 50 to 56% damage. Take 40% damage in counterattack, which is going to be pretty bad. But that's like a normal trade for Kindle. Like anybody attacking a Kindle infantry on a city is going to have like a 6-6 trade or worse, essentially. Now, the fact that Grim can do 50% damage, it's actually pretty good. Gives him a little bit of a boost. So, cool stuff. Alright. Kindle sending that tank into the mid now. Good spot for it to be. Recon purchase. Ooh. Recon. A reconnaissance unit. I don't know if I'm feeling the recon. Recons are fine, but you got to get them out really, really early. I think getting that super early recon is pretty okay. Like DowntoWall's recon here. Definitely being a huge nuisance. But if this recon decides to go in and attack this infantry, for example, recon will be able to come down, sit on city, take a massive hit. And that'll do a lot of damage. It's going to do like 50, maybe even 60% damage. Probably not, but it's going to do a lot. Let's see. Let's just take a quick look. I'm very curious. We would attack from, at best, a forest. 49, 58% damage. It's a pretty hefty hit. Probably be sitting at 4 afterwards, after the chip damage of the infantry hit for sure. Alright. Grim busting out another tank. Going up north, taking that engagement. Smart place to actually take the engagement from, I think. So, this guy takes more damage, obviously. But this one's safe. So now we can start 2 caps. Recon can't hit right away. Infantry will be able to come in, but you don't want to get first strike by Grim. It's a very bad thing to get first striked by Grim. It's terrible. I have lost to Grim players in the past while overpicking. And it's never a good feeling. Never a good feeling. But you feel very happy for your opponent. in some way, because them being able to overcome such a massive challenge like playing Grim in a situation where people are playing COs that are way better than Grim in the natural sense, you're like, wow, this player is like, you know, showing that he can really tussle when it comes down to it. So, you know what? You can't even be mad, folks. All right, boom. Big old engagement. Another engagement. Recon's all the way down to 3. Eliminating an infantry. 6 HP infantry elimination. I feel like maybe attacking this infantry might be a little bit better. I mean, this one, obviously, it's... You get the KO. But injuring that infantry would be really good, too. I don't think it really matters too much. I would probably go for the healthy one, just to make sure it's, like, way more injured. I mean, a couple injured Grim infantry aren't really too much to worry about. But that also kind of leaves you in a really annoying situation where Grim has units that can wall off his better units. So maybe taking the road where you just eliminate the units outright might be a little bit better in the long run. But I also don't like the fact that Grim's going to be able to get a first strike and then be able to cap the property as well. And I don't think this tank can sit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So tank's going to be able to take a free shot. Then infantry takes a free shot. Then infantry starts capping. But maybe this would have just ended up being a knockout situation either way. Unless, how much damage does this do? I'm pretty sure this does like 80% damage at least, right? 84 to 94% damage. Yeah, I probably would have just attacked the infantry. Would have been a 1 HP infantry. What's that going to do? Nothing. It's going to do nothing. Like I said, could be a blocker, but aside from that, it's not really going to do too much. All right. Kindle goes in for the interrupt down in the bottom corner as well, which is very nice. Got to get those interrupts, folks. Can't be letting captures go through. Going to be taking that easy KO and getting an additional hit 5-6 trade. Not too shabby. Clearing the capture in the center, busting out another tank. Going for a few more captures. Unfortunately, the recon in the middle has been completely countered and is forced to run away now. Runs away to a very good position, though. Now, if there is follow-up to this attack, boom, tank right there. But that does also open up a entirely different can of worms where if this goes in, takes this out, then this takes this out, well, then tank probably moves down, then you have a double shot over here. But if you move those tanks over here, then you have no tanks over here versus this tank. So AACO is going to have to build a tank over here in order to ward off this tank, and it's just going to turn into a huge mess. It's going to turn into a huge brawl. Yeah, so he's going for the attacks. Still probably would have wanted to injure both of them, because now you have 2 Grim infantry that are going to first strike these guys, and you're going to lose both of those infantry. But Grim with the tank over there is still super, super dangerous. Alright, AACO busting out the tank down south. I feel like tank up north probably would have been a little bit better, because this tank is going to be able to eliminate this infantry. So now we have a really, really clean way of eliminating those 2 infantry. But at the same time, DowntoWall could go up and attack this. So now DowntoWall actually has a really, really good attack, because he can attack, eliminate this, attack this after cap and column tower. That's 140% firepower, and then also get a first strike right here, which is going to be a huge first strike, actually. Like, what is the damage on this? So it's going to do a lot of damage, even with a column tower. It's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, one thing that you really don't want to do is you don't want to accept a brawl with a Grim, because Grim likes walls, but Grim also likes brawls, especially when he can get the first strike. DowntoWall like a true gamer. True gamer. Let's not capture the comm tower before attacking. What an absolute legend. Beautiful stuff, folks. Alright, not taking this hit. I think this hit would be pretty safe to take, actually. I mean, like, it's not going to do, like, too much. But, oh, you know what? it's actually not a safe hit to take, because that would probably charge Urban Blight. Yeah, that would probably charge Urban Blight. So let's say it's at 5, and this guy takes that 4 counter damage, and then you swap this, and you plop an Urban Blight. Yeah, your tank is gone. Tank would be gone in that situation. However, another tank over here be able to eliminate the tank right afterwards, and no real follow-up to the tanks. I feel like that could have been a pretty good hit. I mean, we sacrificed a tank to take out a tank. Plus, you already won a tank war over here. So maybe it would have been okay, but, yeah, you never know. Grim takes a certain level of finesse to play. That is 100% for sure. Alright. AACO going in for the tank shot. Ugh. Accepting the brawl, folks. Accepting the brawl. Oh, attacking with an infantry. Going for Urban Blight. Okay. So, going for Urban Blight. Gets Urban Blight. This is nice. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm very curious. I'm super, super curious. So, if we Urban Blight from here, and we attack from a city, we're doing 37 to 40% damage against this guy. So, our tank goes down to 1. But we do a lot of damage. That could be okay. That could actually be pretty okay. Ooh, savage. Absolutely menacing attack right there, folks. And Kindle pushes in and down south. Builds a mech. Mechanized infantry. So now if Grim wants to go in and attack here, it's got to deal with a mech. So the mech is actually a really nice counter. Or nice defensive purchase, I should say. Because if tank wants to go in, mech hit right here. Not too shabby. Alright, down to wall. Are we going to pop the co-power? Or are we just going to do some normal stuff? We're going to pop the co-power. Alright, knuckle duster time, folks. That is a 150% firepower boost. With Kong Tower, should be about 160. Maybe even more. I don't know if the actual normal power is added to that too, but either way. Alrighty, folks. Ooh, 1 infantry down to 2. That should be all the way down to 2. Interrupt. Was that necessary? Wasn't really necessary. It does stop it from being capped in 2 turns. I don't know if it's super necessary, though. But, you know, say levy. Actually, you know what? I don't think it was really necessary. The infantry probably could have been used to attack this guy, which would have been fine. And then depending on what we want to use this tank for, this tank could have actually went to clear this. So it really just depends on what the tank wants to do. If the tank wants to go down and attack the tank right here, I think it would have been a pretty, you know, whatever. It's a whatever play. Perfectly fine. Is what it is. But if this tank goes back and retreats, then I think we probably could have just used tank to attack that, and it would have been pretty cool. Right, fatty tank shot. Another fatty tank shot. More infantry clears up north. Tonk build. Oh, and we just go up and use the tank anyways for it, right? So sometimes this happens in Live League, folks, you know? Sometimes you make some moves and you're like, wait a second. I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to do that at all. I had this completely other option right here, ready to go. Just Live League things, folks. Live League things. Is what it is. Alright. Tank goes up. Interrupts. Gets the cap. Or gets the clear on the capture. Clear on another infantry. Recon. Going to town in the center of the map right now. Strong flipping tank on a city. Sitting pretty on a city, folks. That is where Kindle wants to be. Wants to be on the city with not much potential for attacking. Now, I say not much potential for attacking, but there definitely is some potential for attacking. So there's 20% from this, 20% from this. That would get it down to 6. Let's say we get down to 6. What would a 8 HP guy be able to do? 50 to 56. Okay. So there might be a chance. Now, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily condone this sort of a thing. But you got 2 injured tanks right now. So, well, actually, it really just depends on what AACO decides to build. But you could sacrifice both tanks and then go here and then clear this. But you could also bring these tanks back to get heals so that it can survive another day. Or maybe just find some completely other use for them that is so much better. Now, considering that AACO has now built a tank out of the north, probably wouldn't even remotely suggest going for something like that. I want to keep the tank count alive and big and healthy. Alright, infantry moving down south once more, and boom! Now that comm tower is under threat, folks. Definite threat of the comm tower right now. DowntoWall is in a kind of a sticky situation as well, folks. So, is able to buy 2 tanks, but has to base skip right now. Now, he is ahead in overall unit count, so it's not really too bad of a thing to have to base skip, but is going to eat a couple hits over here. So he's going to lose these 2 tanks for sure. There's not really anything that can save them. That is going to lure a couple tanks over to this corner here, but then that does actually make it so this corner over here will be vulnerable. So if he manages to get an infantry, bring it over here, he's got tank presence already. It will be difficult for Grim to push in over here. So maybe this could be a play for him to actually win one of the corners, and he's already won this corner over here. So that could be, like I said, that could be a play to win the corner for sure. All right, attacking the infantry instead. Busting up 2 infantry, okay. All right, DowntoWall going for the double infantry clear now, and brings the tank forward, doing so much damage to these infantry. So yeah, just Grim because of that firepower bonus is just able to do things that other CEOs can't, you know? He's able to actually attack Kindle on cities where other people just can't do that. It's like pretty much impossible for other units to, other CEOs to attack Kindle on a city. That opens up a tank shot, which is kind of unfortunate. Now, pretty sure AACO is probably going to be building a tank down south at this point to block or to cover those tanks. I don't really feel super good about leaving this tile, but if Grim's going to go and sit on this tile and attack, he is going to eat an urban blight. So he doesn't do it. He doesn't do it. He attacks from the shoal. Perfect. Beautiful, actually. I love it. Attack from the shoal. You don't want to sit on that city. And this is like even worse for Kindle, because now Kindle can't use that city. Oh, and the tank just got blocked. Oh my lord. And the tanks move in. Danger. This is danger territory, folks. Day 13. Kindle's only got 12k to play with. Pops the urban blight. Tons of damage. Tons of damage. How much did that do? Whew, that's like 6,000 damage. Crazy. Crazy stuff. Alright. Mech going in for the capture. Ooh, that's the fattest one shot of 2025 so far. Alright, here we go. Crazy stuff. Alright, bust out another tank. Definitely need another tank over there. And now, DowntoWall was putting a lot of threat on capping the comm tower, but now AACO has done a full shift, bringing 2 infantry and a tank down to the comm tower area. There is some serious potential for capping that comm tower right now. Bust out another mech, another tank, another infantry, and here we go. DowntoWall taking the infantry hit and then moving up with the tank from a city. Secondary hit, third hit from the city onto the infantry. Take that man all the way down to 2. And putting more threat on another capture. Alright, here we go. Doing a full surround, attacking with the tank. And now nothing is actually in position to... One unit is in position to attack this. And if it goes in and attacks, it's going to get exploded by 2 tanks. DowntoWall, though, forced to do a double base skip in order to get 2 tanks on the field this turn. Wow. But that is the thing with Grim, you know, you have to keep your tank count high. You have to keep your vehicles high. Because, I mean, infantry walls are just going to fall. You got to keep the vehicles... You got to keep the vehicles high and healthy. That's how you win as Grim. And this is even more of a difficult match for Grim as well. Because Grim thrives on copters. He loves copters. He needs the copters. He wants the copters. No copters on Caustic Finale, folks. Alright. But what you do have is tanks. You got lots and lots of tanks. DowntoWall going for a capture of one of Kindle's properties. Okay. Now, very unlikely that one is going to go through, but once again, that is putting massive threat. It's putting Akko in a situation where if he wants to go up and interrupt that capture, he cannot clear the infantry in order to do so, which will allow Grim to get another first strike. But is also now putting lots of pressure on the comm tower as well. Could actually acquire the comm tower this turn, I believe. Nope. Maybe not. But maybe. Nope. We cannot get that comm tower. But maybe. Maybe we can. Maybe we can. We probably could. Actually, I think we could. Maybe not. I don't know. The only way that I can see it happening is if we get Urban Blight, we get a lucky shot, manage to clear this tank. And then this tank would still... Oh no, we would attack from right here, so this tank couldn't actually move in. So you move here, you get the easy shot, clear it with this tank, you get the comm tower. Alright, definitely possible to get that comm tower, but we need an Urban Blight. And that's what we're going for, folks. We're going for that Urban Blight. Alright, here we go. Beauty. Beautiful clear. Alright, that's a comm tower. That is a comm tower going straight to Kindle. So that means Kindle is going to have 120% firepower, but also 160% firepower on urban terrain. Whoa. Alright, gets the clear, gets the attack. So, like I said, he's gonna get the comm tower. But how long he can hold on to the comm tower for is another story. As Grim is quickly approaching the HQ, folks. There are multiple Grim units getting super close to that HQ. Busts out the double tank and double infantry. And now Akko. Still putting the pressure down south. Not giving up the fight. Sitting on urban terrain like a true champion. Gets the double clear up north as well. Sits on the HQ. But, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh boy. Okay. So we have ourselves a little bit of a problem here, folks. We have ourselves a problem. And that problem is called a base lock. That is super possible right now. Now, base lock is possible, I believe, with 2 sacks. Oh, wait, we might not be able to sack this. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we could sack 4 HP. We could sack 6 HP. Then we can attack with tank. Then we can block with 2 HP tank. That would take that base out of the equation, allowing more tanks to push up and maybe even an artillery. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh boy. Now, I don't know if DowntoWall is going to go for it, but there is definitely break potential there. Let's see what he decides to do. Doesn't go in for it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So, I mean, going in for it, you would lose a couple units. All these tanks would shift over here, but it would give you such a really good foothold over here. And it might win the game, but it might not at the exact same time, as you would use so many units to go over there and get the base lock. Well, this army's pushing up over here. So, you know, maybe it would be good, maybe it wouldn't. I will let the Lords of Advance Wars by Web decide that. And the Lords of Advance Wars by Web are you folks watching. You are the ones that dictate everything in Advance Wars by Web. The comment section knows everything about everything. So if somebody can tell me if that base lock is possible and if it would be good, then that would be great. But if it's not good and not possible, that's fine too. But I want to hear about it. Let me know. Okay. So, day 17. Grim hit by 1 property right now, which is pretty good. But AACO hit by 2 comm towers. It's a lot of comm towers, folks. But Grim is not letting up. Grim is continuing the attack, now pushing the units down south, getting rid of that pesky mech that has been causing so many problems. Sitting a 5 HP infantry on urban terrain. Beautiful spot. Full shift down south. Stops the push down south. Huge tempo right there, folks. Huge tempo. AACO doesn't really have a lot of counterplay to that. He's got 1 tank in position that can attack. A 5 HP tank as well. But all you're going to be able to do is take out 1 tank. That's it. Well, 2 tanks because of a 4 HP tank. But 1 tank. That's it. Am I right? One tank? I don't know. Maybe? All right. Good enough. Good enough. 5 HP tank is not going to move. No, he's going to move. Oh, and he's going to attack. Oh! 50% damage. Huge. Huge 50% damage. No. This is actually kind of a more dangerous situation now, because now Kindle has more tanks than our good friend Grim. Grim's only got 10 tanks now, but it is Grim's turn with 20k in the bank. Gonna be able to buy some tanks. Quite a few tanks. Probably at least 2 tanks. Now, if he decides to join Cap or join some infantry together for some extra funds, could buy 3 tanks. 3 tanks. That is 1 tank more than 2, just so you guys know. All right. Gonna get that con tower back, but not gonna get it back right away because urban blight is definitely a thing that exists in Advanced Wars by Web, and it is charged and ready to go. But Grim playing it safe this turn, buying the 2 tanks and then just doing a couple attacks down south, which is good. But urban blight definitely gonna get popped. Ooh, there we go. It's pretty. We hit a lot of stuff. We hit a lot of stuff, but more importantly, we stopped the capture of the column tower for 1 more turn. So we get to take advantage of 120% firepower for at least 1 more turn here. And oh boy, do we take advantage of it, folks. We get so many hits, so many fat, stonking little hits here. Beautiful stuff. All right, Grim with a power charge, 20k value behind Kindle now. Pops the power. Ooh, 5-5. Ugh, scary stuff. So Kindle, even with a power, Grim is able to do 5 damage and take 5 back. If anybody else did that, they would be taking like 80% damage back, folks. Grim only taking 5. Why? Because Grim is a flipping gosh darn unit. Grim is like the most unit in Advanced Wars by Web. He's just an absolute menace. Absolute menace to society. Ban this man. Ban him from Advanced Wars by Web. He's too strong. 23 units to 14 units now. Kindle, once again though, not giving up the fight. Sitting on urban terrain, taking out the tanks that are weakened. Full ascending over to the HQ right now. And has Grim surrounded. All of Grim's units are super injured. And he busts out the classiest unit in Advanced Wars by Web, the classy medium tank on the field, folks. What is Grim going to do against classy medium tank? I have no idea. It's going to be very difficult for Grim to take on the classiest unit, but Grim definitely has some potential. One of those potentials could be capturing a second comm tower, making his day-to-day ability 150% firepower. That's Advanced Wars 1 Max, folks. And Advanced Wars 1 Max is the definition of flippin' broken. The most broken character in Advanced Wars 1, without a doubt. Alright, day 21. Kindle gets 1 clear, 2 clear, and the classy boy moves in. Going for a capture on one of the properties as well. Now, this could be a very interesting situation, folks. Kindle is in the position where if the port isn't actually acquired, and if nothing blocks or nothing is able to interrupt the port next turn, Kindle could go for a capture on the port, cap it, and then you know what that means. That means Battleship City, folks. Imagine a Kindle battleship firing upon these 2 bases. Oh my god. It would be probably be one of the scariest things ever. That is for sure. All right. Grim popping the power once again, moving in, one-shotting an infantry. Getting another clear on another infantry. Going in and capturing a property down south. Busting out the classiest unit in Advanced Wars by Web. Oh, doesn't get the clear. Ooh. Alright, so DowntoWall definitely sniffing out the potential. Sniffed out the potential danger of having that battle or that port capped. So very good. Brings the units in. Oh, Kindle. Oh, Kindle. 6/6 trade on the classy boy. It's a little dangerous. Because it's the resign. That is a resign turn. Very unfortunate for Kindle. What an absolutely glorious win from DowntoWall, our Grim player, though, against Kindle on Caustic Finale. However, even though Kindle's behind, I don't necessarily think that she's out of the game yet. I think if we acquired that port and built that battleship, it would have been pretty good. It would have been pretty good, folks. Now, however, that is completely unrealistic in this situation, and it would probably never happen. But one can hope to dream, folks. One can hope to dream. And I hope that you all enjoyed that one at home. If you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves. And bye-bye for now.